the defense of Pittsburgh. It is the #1 defense in the league against the run. Up front is Harrison Steed and Kevin Henry. Bill Cowher told us yesterday that Earl Holmes and Levon Kirkland are the finest tandem of inside linebackers in the league. Greg Lloyd continues to try to regain the form.
In small chunks, not turn the zone blitz loose on Jeff Blake.
Bengals with a first down at the 39, and Blake going deep down the sidelines to Pickens. Incomplete.
For anybody, Jim Kelly.
He can, and they even told us that he's probably one of the fastest defensive backs on the side of the field. And I mean, sometimes his weight might be about 190, 200 pounds, but that guy can throw it around.
Pro Bowler the last 3 years. Blake in trouble, down for the first time. We mentioned 6 sacks last week, and this time Steve Connolly.com. For the second straight drive, the Bengals begin at their own 28. And Corey Dillon gets the call to the right side, and he is swarmed over by the Pittsburgh defense, led by Jason Gilden and Nolan Harrison.
And Kajana Carter can hit the hole as fast as possible.
On 2nd and 4, Brian Milne out in the flats. Not much of a game. Jason Gilden. Kerry Blanchard of the Colts missed a 42-yard field goal with less than 3 minutes to go last week. The Steelers hung on and won that as Kajana Carter gets the call for Cincinnati. But a couple of weeks ago, Cowher's team matched the greatest comeback in team history. They were down 21-0 at Baltimore, came back and won that game.
And I did that game. I was there, and Kordell Stewart in the first quarter had 3 interceptions. All of a sudden, boom, 3 touchdown passes, a 70-yard run. You look at Jeff Blake, he's getting to that point a little sooner than Kordell Stewart has.
Blake steps up on 2nd down and 10, and a nice attempt by Pickens.
That's intercepted.
And intercepted by Darren Perry.
Danny, that ball rolled off the chest of Carl Pickens right into Darren Perry's hands. This is a deep square in. There's the zone coverage. Corners up, safeties out. Tough throw, but Pickens goes down to get it. That ball never hits the ground. Excellent call by the officials. Interception, Pittsburgh.
One thing I thought Pickens was doing, he was almost looked like he was trying to idle in the hole, and Jeff Blake was leading him a little bit, so the timing was pretty much off right there.
Pittsburgh trailing 7-0, sets up at the 47. Stewart again deflected at the line of scrimmage, and it falls incomplete. Is in the offensive set for Pittsburgh. Stewart down the middle, complete. A flag flies as the pass is complete at the 16-yard line to Courtney Hawkins, the former Tampa Bay Buccaneer.
Prior to the pass, holding defense number 30. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
And the result of that play is a 35-yard completion. Nice touch on this ball to Hawkins.
Here's the slot receiver going down through the middle. Kordell Stewart does a great job of reading it. You see the pressure up front by Cincinnati. That is a beautiful throw.
And as you looked at the coverage right there, was 2 deep coverage. The safeties were split so wide.
Into the first quarter in Cincinnati. Pittsburgh trying to take it in and tie it up. 3rd down and 4. The shovel to George Jones, and he goes in for the touchdown. Nice play by Pittsburgh.
You see all the pressure here? They let them all go by. Everybody keeps their mind and wits about them. Kordell Stewart just shovels it forward. And actually an excellent block out front, too, by Thigpen, 82. Waltzes right in the end zone for a score.
Steeler wide receivers do an excellent job. This is a botched hold and snap. And Ashley Ambrose picks it off, but we've seen a lot of this since he had last week. 2nd and 4. And a handoff to Carter. And he really had nowhere to go, Trump, but they need 7 here. Blake looks to the right side. He wanted David Dunn, and that is incomplete.
That was double coverage, too.
Trailing. They are 4-2 on the year, looking for their 4th straight win. Kordell Stewart to the air, and it's complete to number 82, Yancey Thigpen. And he's finally chased down from behind at the 25-yard line by Greg Myers.
That was a perfect read by Kordell Stewart. He sat in the pocket. He saw the blitz coming from his right side. Some quarterbacks will automatically pull it down and run with maybe Kordell Stewart earlier, but no, he stays in the pocket. He finds his receiver. Excellent job.
And you know, when you talk to Bill Cowher, he understands that Kordell Stewart is first and foremost an athlete and recognizes that in bits and pieces you teach him to be a quarterback.
The fake to Bettis. Kordell Stewart wheels to his left. And he's got Mitch Lyons, the tight end.
Last year, pretty much the same through the first 6 games.
Blake with a 3rd and 4. The pitch to Kajana Carter, who's getting most of the work today. Carter will be short of the first down. Myron Bell comes up to make the stop. Again, we've seen a lot of Carter as Dillon remains on the sidelines, injured in the first quarter.
Try to get the first down and as many yards as possible.
That much short.
Playing out of personality, just 17 yards rushing, and came into the game with the #1 rushing offense in the league.
First interception on the year for Sawyer. Play action. Blake rolling to his right. Wants to come back left. Pickens drifting back, and down goes Blake. No one got open. That was Kevin Henry who gets credit for the sack from their own 26. And they set it up left side for Carter. And Carter brought down, fumbles the football, and is loose. And the Steelers have it.
He's hit by Lloyd on the leg, low. Oh, that ball was loose.
Came loose.
That ball was loose.
That is a fumble. And on 2nd and 8, it's the bust to the right. Good yardage here as Bettis busts it inside the 10-yard line. Pittsburgh will have another 1st and goal as Bettis immediately bounces up into his strut. And right up the middle is Lester. And Lester gets close down to the 3-yard line. Steelers, so the #1 rushing team in the NFL, doing it mostly through the air thus far. Kordell Stewart trying to run it in, spins his way, and he was hammered right at the goal line. I believe tumbled saved a touchdown for Cincinnati. Right side denied, or is he? Nope, Bettis got in for the touchdown.
Second effort.
Second effort indeed by Jerome Bettis, who appeared he might have been stopped on the first hit. Back into the game earlier and had to come out again. Eric Bieniemy is in there on the 3rd down situation. Blake incomplete.
He just watches his every move. He looks back at the right time. A little pushing and shoving there, but you got to understand, this is the NFL. You can do a little bit of that.
Begins with 1:43 left. And to give to George Jones. George Jones, the 5th-round pick.
At the end of the game, you have to have experience. You got to be able to do it time and time again.
On 3rd and 2, Courtney Hawkins makes the catch. Gets up to close to the 40-yard line, a 1st down, and there should be a timeout called by Pittsburgh. 17 seconds now and counting. Stewart hangs in the pocket, and he'll run it out and get out of bounds. The clock just began to move. The play began with 17 seconds, and not until Stewart went out of bounds. Home keeping it close against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers lead it 13-7 to the kick. Doug Pelfrey kicking off. Andre Coleman and George Jones back for Pittsburgh, and it's Coleman who comes up at the 3 to take it. Heading toward the left side and turning it up across the 30. A good return by Andre Coleman.
If you're also looking for significant numbers, the Bengals had a grand total of 9 yards in the 2nd quarter. No first down. Significant because last week against Tennessee, they had minus 10 yards in the 3rd quarter.
And they begin, no surprise, with big Jerome Bettis, who busts his way up the middle. And we were talking about it yesterday, Jim, about, yeah, Jerome Bettis is big. He bowls his way for yardage right up the middle, but his speed is deceiving as well.
And the nose tackle's doing the job today.
What are the odds on Bettis getting the ball here? No, Kordell Stewart with the sneak. All they needed was less than a foot.
Oh, no, they did. I'm serious.
Did?
Sometimes they did. That's why he kept doing it.
On 2nd and 10, Kordell Stewart over the middle, and he's got Courtney Hawkins. And Hawkins close to another 1st down. 3 of those 4 Super Bowls the Bills went to before he left for the Colts. Play action Stewart rolling to his left nicely, and Tim Lester picks up the 1st down for Pittsburgh. So the Steelers,
they think about Jerome Bettis. They know exactly what he means to this team.
and again Pittsburgh increasing that total yards advantage. Jerome Bettis right up the middle to the 25, and really showing a great balance for the Steelers, trying to increase their 13-7 lead Stewart rolls to his right. He's got 85. Mitch Lyons, again the tight end.
Run somebody over. When we run the bootleg, make him think that this is exactly what's going to happen. And Kordell Stewart does an excellent job putting the ball out there, making the defense see the ball go near Bettis, make him think that he does have the football.
Some concern on the sideline. 2nd down and 3. Jerome Bettis looking for his hole and pounding forward for the first down.
At a clip.
Ball at the 10. Stewart lobbing it into the end zone, and that is a touchdown to Thigpen. Great touch by Stewart.
You'd think they would have learned from the first time that they said, don't put him up and press, because this is what Kordell Stewart likes to do inside of 20. He's lined up on the numbers. You automatically know you get all that room to the outside to work. And what happens? Ambrose looks back for the football. 6 points.
Think Stewart and Thigpen aren't having some fun on the sidelines? Pickens incomplete. And Carter looking for a hole on the right side, but it was plugged up in a hurry. That was Levon Kirkland, number 99.
He takes one false step. He's right there. Son. You going down.
Wow.
3rd down and 9. Blake to pass. Looking for the end zone. Incomplete. Just out of the arms. Good drive for Pittsburgh from its own 25. And Jerome Bettis right up the middle. Look at the strength as Bettis pounds his way to the 35.
Picture, it's not there. Just a little move right there. That is not taught. You're born with that. You never get that.
First down at the 35. Kordell Stewart. And he's got Thigpen. Thigpen racking up the yardage today. That's close to another Steeler first down. And Thigpen is over 100 yards, 5 catches, 103rd quarter, already under 2.5 minutes left. And Stewart far side. Thigpen on his knees makes the catch.
Oh, beautifully done. That ball was halfway to Thigpen when Thigpen turned around.
2nd and 7. Bettis still on his feet to the 25.
There's that little move again.
He comes straight up through, but again, Bettis finds his way. He finds a little seam. He hits it. Lester, the fullback, moving towards the outside, but all of a sudden, great running backs will make cuts like that.
To Norm Johnson, they'll spot it at the 34. A 44-yard field goal attempt. Snap, hold good, and so is the kick. The Steelers add to their lead. It's now 23-10, opening moments of the 4th.
In the middle of the kickoff return team, telling them, come on, guys, we need a good return.
Boomer came into the game late last week against the Oilers as Hunden brings it out for Cincinnati and dropped quickly at the 14-yard line. So the Bengals will start deep in their own territory, tackled by J.B. Brown.
You can't all of a sudden say, okay, today I'm going to be a leader. I'm going to start today. You're almost born with that. You have to have a feel for it.
Incomplete in the vicinity of Darnay Scott. Bengal passing far side. Blake to Pickens, incomplete. Carnell Lake.
No problem with it.
3rd down and 10. Blake buying some time, wants Pickens, and that is incomplete.
Lack of protection.
Lee Johnson punting from the 4-yard line. Not a good punt by Johnson, and it takes a Steeler bounce. So Pittsburgh leading 23-10.
To get that first down.
And here is Jerome Bettis. Started right, heads left. Not only is he powerful and fast, he's shifty. He can make some nice cuts in a hurry. Angling it toward the left side.
Nice catch.
Nice catch by Chris Oldham, number 24. Blake for the play action. And that ball nearly intercepted by Earl Holmes.
Man, you can't afford a turnover. Maybe he was blinded right there, but again, just forcing it in there, and you can tell he could not see. The offensive and defensive line was right in front of him.
Numbers for Blake, 1 interception. Going to the far sideline, he wanted Pickens. Lake was there. That play never really had a chance. Sent behind Blake. 3rd and 6. Another big 3rd down attempt here for Blake. Pickens makes the catch. He's got a lot of room. Lake trying to run him down. And he fumbles the football. What a play by Lake. I think he poked it out.
That's a touchback. Steelers get the ball. Lake most assuredly just punched the ball out.
Last week, Lake had his 2nd trifecta.
What a play by Carnell Lake.
A sack, forced a fumble, and took one back. A fumble return for a touchdown for Pittsburgh.
Realized the kind of speed that Carnell Lake had. Watch him catch up to Carl Pickens, and then he knows the only way to ruin this is to knock the ball loose.
Look at
Stands
that.
right. What a play. What a play.
Carl Pickens got to know that Carnell is coming, is closing in on him. And Mike Archer, the linebacker coach for the Steelers, said that Carnell Lake is probably the fastest defensive back he has on his team now.
Over the ball, 1st and 10 from the 20, and they can just grind out some time here. Let's go back to the Lake pursuit of Pickens again.
Now the point we want to make here, ladies and gentlemen, you see Pickens break free. I want you to count the number of strides that Carnell Lake makes before he knocks this ball away. I think he can make the tackle about here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He ran a good 17 yards with 1 intent in mind, knocking the ball away from Pickens.
How does it feel to think you're going for a touchdown and then deny? Somebody can close on him, but Pickens really thought he had the touchdown.
The thing, we're elaborating on this a lot because that is probably one of the turning points in this game. I mean, really putting it on the Steelers' advantage because look at the people around here. There's so many people already leaving the stadium because Carl Pickens on that particular play had the confidence in his speed. But, you know, if you saw a running back or a wide receiver breaking out into the opening, every once in a while you'll look back, and if you know you're going to be tackled, you put both hands on the football.
Gets after it in the offseason, so when he comes to camp, if he needs to play corner, he can get the job done. Bettis just picked up the 1st down, and Stewart takes it out to Mitch Lyons, the tight end. 2nd down, very short now for Pittsburgh, just trying to grind out this drive.
That play just absolutely just let the air out of the Cincinnati Bengals football team. The fans in this stadium just absolutely, totally, that play changed all of the attitude of everyone in this place. It raised Pittsburgh. It lowered Cincinnati.
It's called the Lake effect. 2nd down and 17. Jerome Bettis again well over the 100-yard mark again. 164 yards last week was his 2nd best in his career. And if he keeps getting the ball here late, he could challenge that. Cincinnati has to hold here. Stewart pressured, gets it off to George Jones. Jones breaks a tackle and picks up the 1st down. 1st down now for Pittsburgh. 4:26 left, and they give it to Jerome. More time comes off the clock. The Bengals do have 3 timeouts left, but looking very bleak for Cincinnati. And Kozlik came on to spark the big 7-2 finish for Cincinnati. Look at Bettis pound for more yardage. And it marked 3rd and less than a yard. Stewart trying to sneak his way for the 1st down and put this game on ice. 23-10 in the 4th quarter. The numbers for Kordell Stewart: 246 yards, a couple of touchdown tosses. The numbers for Blake, the numbers for Jerome Bettis. Nowhere on there is Carnell Lake, but that should be at the top of the list.
Dynamics of a football game, just like that.
Bettis right up the middle, still on his feet inside the 20. 2-minute warning. The great running game. A look at his numbers versus Jeff Blake, who he's only been sacked a couple of times today. That's an improvement, but the numbers for him with not nearly the same kind of support that Stewart has in Pittsburgh. Field goal earlier made a 43-yarder. And that is through. And it's 26-10 Pittsburgh with 1:27 left.
Gentlemen, to continue the conversation on just exactly what do the Bengals do and reiterating these, we leave.
I had a few of those being from Pittsburgh every once in a while.
Oh, really? That's a revelation from the East Brady PA native.
No, it was after I came back from college.
Right.
Let me tell you, those.
With a minute 22 left and trailing by 16. And that ball should have been intercepted and is by guess who?
Trump's boy, Carnell Lake.
Initially, Darren Perry had a shot at it.
It goes through a couple of receivers' hands, or at least one receiver and then a defensive back. Pretty much a desperation situation, just a zone coverage by Pittsburgh off the defensive back's chest. So why not?
Yeah.
Carnell, keep that ball.
It would only be fitting to have Lake.
Jeff Blake was throwing.
And the Pittsburgh Steelers this time get the job done in the fashion that Bill Cowher would like. No late last-minute heroics to pull out the game. They win it convincingly by a final score of 26-10. They win their 4th in a row, improve to 5-2, while the Bengals' dismal season continues. They've now lost 6 straight. And Carnell Lake was the huge difference maker in this one in the twilight now of Cincinnati.
Danny, I think there were some defensive backs from Cincinnati congratulating.